Good morning, students. How are you? I suppose you are very fine today. On Friday, well, we are in the second course and we are going to talk about communication and a day of work. What is communication in advertising? Communication in advertising is a part of marketing communication or markup, which is the use of media and message to communicate with target audience. You are advertiser, so you have to communicate your work to a customers, a clients, to what you're going to sell them, what they have to tell you to do. So that's a way of communication. There are variety of communication, written communication, speaking communication, because the communication is part of the speech. And now this communication by moving your hands to make signs that for the person that cannot hear, they are deaf. Okay, that's a way of communication. And in advertising, I paid for a communication that use mass media to persuade an audience. Advertising can be in the form of commercial advertising or user general context. Advertiser has to sell what they do. This is the part of the second court, communication in a day of work. What's in a day of work? What you do every day during your work. As you're an advertiser or a publisher, you have to make a work, a agenda, a guide, what you're doing every time. What are you going to do today or what you're going to do tomorrow? If you have a meeting, that's a work that have the person who come and have a day of work in advertising, the kind of work. So you have to tell what kind of work you do in your agents of advertising. Okay? And well, I am looking here what I want you to do in your room, in your virtual room. You have to do, I suppose, a line time, as in, where is it? So you have to do is, what do you do? What did advertising do in your work? You make publishing, you make advertising to sell to someone that needs your work. That's a day of work. My day of work as teacher is teach, nothing else, and make exercises to my students. That's my day of work. That's a day of work. What do you do in your work? And how did you evolve, go on in that environment? Okay? So you have to explain that in a timetable and give it to me as activity. That's a day of work. What do you do in your work? Suppose that you have a work that you're just an advertiser and you have to sell what you do. Okay? That's a day of work. Well, next time I suppose they will know you as my students face to face. See you in the next class, please.